to succeed in dating and succeed in life, you should literally learn your style. And what I mean by that is, every person is born with specific talents, with specific features, and you're kind of going to drive yourself crazy trying to focus on things that you weren't inherently born with and that you're trying to improve, right? You're much better off focusing on your strengths, focusing on what you were born with, and kind of sharpening those skills. And what I mean by that is pretty much, you know, if you were born with the ability to be really intelligent and stuff like that, then focus on using that intelligence to start businesses and, have yourself perceived as higher status, right? If you weren't born the brightest guy in the room, but you're really funny, then maybe you should focus on, just making people laugh and really sharpening those skills. And maybe even building a brand where you make people laugh online, so you're perceived higher status, right? Some people are generally not funny. Some people are generally not that smart. Some people are generally funny. Some people are generally smart. Some people are really good looking. Some people, they're not born the best of good looking, but they still have a lot of improvement to go there. So in general, you want to basically cover your basics and cover your bases, so to speak. But in the general sense, one thing you want to make sure is you want to learn what kind of person you are in life, and you kind of want to learn what type of person you are in the dating market, because every person is different, and you're going to drive yourself crazy if you watch other dating gurus and dating coaches who are completely different people from you, who speak in a completely different manner than you do, who attract completely different women than you do, who are in a completely different environment than you, who don't even look anything like you, right? You're going to drive yourself crazy if you're trying to emulate their behavior and it just doesn't fit your personality, right? If you're a guy and you're more masculine looking and you're more muscular and you're more defined in general, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to play the part of like the really nice guy who's just, a little bit smaller, who just has to be funny. It's just like sometimes you got to focus on who you are. What do people perceive you as? What are your God-given strengths and abilities? What kind of archetype are you? What type of personality traits do you have? And then focusing on sharpening those skills so that you can become the best of your ability, right? You're going to drive yourself crazy if you try to become someone you're not. And that is a problem that a lot of guys have in life and a lot of guys have in the dating market, right? Well, what a lot of guys will do is they'll look at a guy they look up to and they look at a guy they really admire, and they're going to be like, I'm literally going to try to become like this guy. Sometimes it works, and sometimes you do have the same look as the guy, but sometimes people kind of really like someone because they have the traits and they have the characteristics that they're missing, right? So it's something to keep in mind. Maybe you really like a guy because he has the traits that you're missing, in which case it's a really bad idea for you to go on some pursuit trying to look like him when you don't have the same traits as that guy, when you don't look anything like that specific celebrity, and you're going to drive yourself crazy spending tons of money on, different products and different things to make yourself look like that celebrity, when in reality, you don't have the same vibe as that person or celebrity, and people get a totally different look when they see you. So it's best if you focus on sharpening your skills rather than try to be someone that you're not and becoming the best version of yourself in the dating.